Hey, what is going on? Today I've got a bit of a different video than usual. It's just going to be me talking while I'm cooking on my alt account. So if you'd like, you can just minimize the window and listen while you play RuneScape or do whatever it is that you're doing. So Jagex's free weekend of membership just came to an end, and a lot of people got their first taste of membership and are probably now considering purchasing membership for the first time. If you've got a lot of money to spend, go ahead and do whatever you'd like, but a lot of people are on a budget or may not have access to money like that. Before you liquidate your entire bank for a bond, I want to cover what you should get done in free-to-play before you get membership. Now, there are so many things to do in free-to-play. There's hours upon hours of skills that will have almost the same, if not exactly the same rates as training those skills as a member. On top of that, there's certain things in members' worlds that are unlocked at certain skill levels which could easily be obtained in free-to-play before wasting away your days of membership. So let's start off with the first thing you should do, and that is questing. Get every quest done before you get membership. There's no reason not to, and if you have the skill levels, you can easily get them all done in like half a day of playing. Because do you know how bogus it would be doing Ernest the Chicken in pay-to-play worlds? You just don't do that. Questing is like the storyline of the game, so definitely make sure you get those free-to-play quests done first. Which brings us into the first skills, which are the combat skills, attack, strength, and defense. If you've completed Dragon Slayer, then your combat is good enough for members worlds. You should be 50 or 60 combat, rocking out that sweet rune plate body, looking all swagged out with the best free players items. Just make sure you've got at least 40 in your melee stats so you can wear rune armor. It would be better to have 60 attack and defense for dragon weapons and armor, but I couldn't really fault you for that because higher level combat training in free worlds is awful. Plus, there's a lot of members quests that boost up your attack levels really quickly, like Tree Gnome Village, Fight Arena, Waterfall quests, and others, which all have pretty much no requirements. For range, it's not too important, but 40 would be more than sufficient enough to do some of the safe spottable bosses, like for Fight Arena, and that's also the requirement to do Temple of Ikov, which is a requirement for Desert Treasure. If you get 50, you can jump right into the Magic Shortbow. And once you've got 61, the Rune Crossbow will be one of the most cost-efficient bows in the game. But if you really hate training range, though, just get 28, so you can use the Bone Crossbow, which is a pretty decent training weapon at lower levels. The next skill is Prayer. Don't even bother with it in free-to-play. It's like the only one that's pointless to train because the XP rates are so low, and there's not really any efficient methods to train it. Now we've got Magic. Some notable Magic quest requirements are 50 for Desert Treasure and 65 for Lunar Diplomacy. Magic isn't terribly slow or inefficient for free-to-play at lower levels, so whether you're killing monsters, casting teleports, or superheating, if you can get 55 for high alching, you should be able to find items once you're a member that will alch to either break even or even profit a bit. Again, that'll also help with some of the safe spottable bosses, and also once you're a member, get a house, get your construction up, and build a lectern because you can make decent starting money and pretty good magic XP too for creating teleport tablets. Okay, for runecrafting, it's really a hit or miss because once you become a member, you can get your agility up to make training runecrafting way more efficient. I know energy potions are available in free-to-play, but that doesn't even compare to the usefulness of stamina potions. If you enjoy runecrafting, then go get 27 so you'll be ready for cosmic runes, which shouldn't be too bad to get. And if you're really gung-ho about runecrafting, then go for 44 so you'll be set to start making some cash money training with nature runes. If you plan on getting above 44 in free-to-play, then props to you because you must have the patience of a saint. For crafting, start off with making leather items until you get to 8 crafting. You have now unlocked a decent money-making and training method, which is gold amulets. Go to the Grand Exchange, buy an amulet mold, buy as many gold bars as you can afford, and get your ass over to Al Kharid to start smelting them. You can make around 1,000 per hour, which will net you about 30k crafting XP and 50 to 60k GP per hour depending on the prices. This is a decent method to be able to afford a bond, but even if you have other methods of getting GP, I would still recommend doing this through to around the 50s because that's when it starts slowing down. If you want to keep going till you can afford a bond, there's nothing wrong with that, and your level would be in the 70s by the time you had enough cash. Okay, let's move on to mining. You should do Dork's Quest right away, which will instantly give you 10 mining. You need to get at least 30 before going members because there are really no major differences in training up until that point. Maybe there will be less competition in members worlds, but overall, there really isn't any difference in efficiency. Once you get 30, you can go right to Motherlode Mine as a member and start getting some profitable and AFK mining experience. If you want to get 41 before membership, that would be even better so you can use the rune pickaxe. But with whatever pick you're using, make sure you have the corresponding attack level to equip it so you're not wasting inventory spots. Unless you're doing power mining, then it really doesn't matter. For smithing now, there's a right way and a wrong way to train it. The only right way is to do the Knight Sword quest, which will give you an instant boost to level 29 smithing. From there, you're basically set. Once you're a member, you can make knives, dart tips, bolts, and they'll all typically profit. If you want to do some extreme AFKing, you can get to level 35, so you'll be all set to make cannonballs. And this is one of the most AFK-able methods of anything in the game, and a lot of new members do this as a money-making method when they're first starting out. If you get 60 smithing, you should head right into the blast furnace, which will net you over 400k GP per hour, even at the lowest levels and requirements, with very good XP rates as well. If you're not concerned about money, get 40 smithing right away, and get the goldsmith gauntlets as a member. These will double the XP you get from gold bars and will be very fast XP, especially if you start making them via the blast furnace once you hit level 60. Let's move on to fishing. You should start out with the basics, shrimp and anchovies or whatever, but once you hit 20, those levels will start flying. Get it? Because you'll be fly fishing. You can seriously just sit at Barbarian Village with 100,000 feathers in your inventory for days and days on end if you'd like. Combined with shift-click dropping now, fly fishing is easier than it's ever been. The level I would recommend you get to in free-to-play is 48 so that you can start Barbarian fishing in members. This is going to be macro efficient because it's going to train agility and strength at the same time. It's exactly the same as fly fishing in free-to-play, but with improved XP. If you can't stand fly fishing with the shift dropping and all that, just get to 40 so that when you become a member, you can go right to Catherby and start fishing lobsters. It will be extremely slow at that level, but very AFK. Or you can even just get 35 so you can fish Catherby tunas when you get that membership instead. The thing is that at some point you've got to do that free-to-play fly flip. You've got to train fly fishing in free-to-play, and you may find out that it's not as bad as you thought. Alright, so cooking now. This is a fun one. Do all of your basic fishies, salmon, tuna, lob, swordfish. You should take cooking all the way to 90 if you want to make profit, because the next fish you'll stop burning will be monkfish with the cooking gauntlets at level 90. I'll put a link in the description with the levels that you stop burning food at. You can honestly take this all the way to 99 and even beyond without being inefficient, because the best cooking XP in the game is making wines, which can get you around 500k XP per hour, and this method is available to free-to-play. It comes out to a cost of about 1 GP per XP, which is always changing, of course. So if you don't care about profit, you can get 99 cooking in just a couple days, or even 200 mil XP in just a couple weeks. You stop making bad wines at level 68, so from there on out, the only reason to not get 99 in free-to-play is money. You do get access to better ranges, but honestly, it doesn't make that much of a difference, especially if you start making wines at level 68, because you'll be getting fast XP anyways. Fire making is very simple. Make the best logs you can until level 50, then you're set. When you become a member, start doing Winter Toad until you get the pet, then continue doing the best logs you can, specifically redwoods, because they are very cost efficient and super fast XP. Of course, if you prefer Winter Toad or don't have the money for logs, then by all means keep doing it to 99. It's such a fast skill with very little variety of training methods that you shouldn't have any issues on figuring out how to train it. The last skill to cover is woodcutting. Just like firemaking, cut the best logs you can. The levels will go by fast, especially once you start cutting willows. Get 40 attacks so you can equip the rune axe and save the extra inventory slot. Woodcutting is really up to you, but I would recommend at least 61 so you can use the dragon axe as soon as you get membership. Get 85 firemaking before you do any training past 61 so you can use the infernal axe, which has a 1/3 chance of burning logs you cut and gives you 50% of the firemaking XP you get from normally burning the logs. Now, the original investment for a smoldering stone will be around 800k to 1 mil, but after that you can just keep on charging it with dragon axes, which only cost 50 to 60k these days, and a fully charged axe will burn 5,000 logs, so it'll last you quite a bit of time. And there we are, that's every free-to-play skill covered. Those are my recommendations on what to do before getting membership. I'll leave some more useful links in the description that may help you decide what you personally want to do before you take that step up. Becoming a member unlocks so much content. There's new quests, skills, minigames, pets, outfits, diaries, bosses, weapons, armor, prayers, spells, and the list goes on and on. It will be overwhelming if it's your first time as a member, so just take it step by step, one goal at a time. It might help you to write down your thoughts and goals to organize exactly what you want to get done. If you've got any questions or comments at all, please leave them in the comments. I read every comment that's posted. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, so thank you. And I really hope I was able to help you out. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you again soon.